Yo, what's going on, guys? The Kitty Gianni GTV. We're back again with another video. Hope everybody is doing well. By the way, today's show, we got a lot to talk about, people. We got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about first things first. Where do I even begin? Let me just note some of these things down while we're going through them with you. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about, obviously, is Fabrizio Romano confirming yesterday that Dusan Vlahovic is not going to be happening. So we're just going to get that checked off the list right away. We're not even going to have to mention that too much. We spoke about it yesterday, but Fabrizio Romano came back and just confirmed it again late last night around like 7 p.m. on Twitter. And then he also mentioned on caught offside. Let me get you guys the direct quote. He on caught offside. This is just a quick little synopsis of everything we're going to talk about. On caught offside, when he does his regular meetings with them and just discuss some of the things that he's heard, he said that Arsenal are interested in Paulo Torres and are eyeing a move for the center back. So he could be a potential Gabriel Magalhaes upgrade or replacement, depending on what the future is for Gabriel Magalhaes, because we do need another person who is on that left side. And if I'm not mistaken, Paulo Torres is a left-footed center back. Am I wrong? If I'm not mistaken, he is left-footed. Am I wrong, people? Because last time I checked, Arsenal are looking for that profile of center back. He's currently playing in Spain. If you guys don't know, for Villarreal, he's been part of that team for a couple years now, and he helped them win the Europa League versus Manchester United. He was one of the players that was part of that Europa League team versus Manchester United. This is him on the screen right now. Hopefully you can see him. No, you can't see him. Where is he? Can you see him? Can't see him. There he is. There he is. Paulo Torres. There he is. So Paulo Torres is one of the things we're going to be talking about. Also, we're going to be talking about good old what's his name? Sanllehi. Raul Sanllehi. Raul Sanllehi came out with a big interview where we're going to have to talk about some of the things that he mentioned in an interview. We're going to get into that. We're linked to another Villarreal player. So it looks like we might be going after two Villarreal players. We're linked to another Villarreal player. This one here, his name is Alex Binem. He is one of Villarreal's stars, a young up and coming player, and he can score. He's got some goals in him. You know what? Let me give you guys more information on this guy before we go any further. So what you guys need to know about him is he's predominantly a left winger. He's played predominantly as a left winger for Villarreal. He's 21 years old. How much first team experience does he have? He just moved clubs recently. He moved from Villarreal to Granada. How do you pronounce this team? 1 second, let me just pronounce this team for you.
Girona.
That's what it is. Girona. And then he moved back from Girona when his loan ended, back to Villarreal. He seemed like he had a decent spell over there in Verona. Let's go find out how he did over in Verona. We're gonna look into some of these players plus more on today's show. In addition to Thomas Partey injury updates, Kieran Tierney injury updates, Martin Odegaard injury updates, and just looking forward a little bit to everything that's going on this upcoming weekend, and hopefully the season kicks off quite well in a little bit's time. Do you guys not agree? Hopefully you guys do agree. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Also in the chat, let me know how you guys are doing in the chat, where you're watching from. Also, that's always important to me. I always want to know where you guys are watching from. But let's get straight into the first thing where we have to begin. Hopefully everyone's well. Let's get through some of your chats. Shout out to you people. Drop a like. Big up. What's up, people? I'm going to be on the terrace also at 6 o'clock, so go check that out also later on today. Paulo Torres news, I'm going to give you guys all of that in a second. Southgate out. We're going to talk about Southgate out. Paulo Torres is left-footed. Yes, I know that. I was just making sure I was confirmed. Yo, you gotta love your content, just like Northside said. Fake fans. He is what? He's not a fake. He's not a fake fan. Just tell what? Nah, man. Northside's a cool guy, man. Let Northside be, man. Don't make fun of Northside, man. Northside's a cool guy, man. I might not agree with everything he says. We might have a difference of opinion, but me and him could be in a room and we can have a conversation. Cause you know what? He's very different to some people, of course. Um, watching from New York. Big up, guys! Watching from New York. Woo! Love the content. Thank you. Really do appreciate it. Injury updates. We're gonna give you all of that right now, but let's get started. First thing we're gonna talk about. First thing we're gonna have to talk about is this whole Vlahovic stuff. So if you guys don't know, yesterday there was this whole thing about Vlahovic where Fabrizio Romano came out and said that there's absolutely nothing between Dusan Vlahovic and Arsenal, this, and that, right? So he came out and he said that. Now, there has been a further update. Fabrizio Romano himself tweeted this out. Where is it? Let me just show you guys what Fabrizio Romano tweeted yesterday on this similar topic. He basically just confirmed it again for us, just so everyone could, just so you could put everything to bed. He confirmed it one more time for everybody that Vlahovic to Arsenal, there is no likelihood of this happening. And that's what happened. So once he did that, we now know Dusan Vlahovic is not going to be joining Arsenal, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? The days of Dusan Vlahovic January sagas, that was last year. We don't want to go through a whole nother January talking about Dusan Vlahovic now, do we? Really? Do we really want to go through that? No. So yeah, let me just show you guys that quickly on the big screen, and then we'll just get it off the screen because you guys don't need to see it for too long. But yeah, so that was the Dusan Vlahovic news. Just quickly moving past that topic, moving on to the ones that you guys want to hear about. So you guys really want to hear about Paulo Torres. Let's go straight into that then. Let's go straight into the Paulo Torres story, because the Paulo Torres story is interesting. He is a really good player, though. He is a really good player. He's a player who has been linked to a plethora of Premier League moves. He's been linked to Tottenham before. He's been linked to potentially going to Chelsea. He's been linked to going to Manchester United so many times in the past. He's available for around 40 million euros, and he is a very solid left-footed center back. We are in the market of looking for a left-footed center back, and he would come in and he'd fit in quite well. This is what the reports said from Fabrizio Romano, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just pull it up in front of my face. I have it right here. He said, Barcelona are preparing to sell former Man City forward who has not been impressive. Yeah, we already know about that. That has nothing to do with that. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Gunners are reviving their interest in, uh, reviving their Torres interest, having confirmed that Arsenal are interested in summer swoop for Paulo Torres. Speculation has now also begun over Ferran Torres. So we could be in for the two Torreses. We could be in for both Torreses. But yeah, Fabrizio Romano stated the Gunners are looking at the Spanish international as a potential Gabriel Magalhaes potential replacement in the case that he was to leave. But of course, the article does also mention other clubs. So let me just put this on the screen for you guys to see. Hopefully, you guys can see it in a second. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So as you guys can see right there, it says interest in Paulo Torres this summer from Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, exploring this possibility, but do not want to spend the 40 to 45 million euros. It is very good opportunity on the market. He is an experienced, quality, left-footed, and very good center back. That is what Fabrizio Romano had to say on Caught Onside earlier today when discussing the potential of Paulo Torres coming to Arsenal. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think Paulo Torres would be an amazing backup. And he could even push Gabriel and potentially take that starting job from Gabriel. Now, the only reason why I'm saying he would be a backup to begin with is because obviously I want to back my players, but Gabriel Magalhaes has been not so good. But let me know in the chat what you guys are saying, people. Paulo Torres to Arsenal. Are we saying yes? Are we saying no? What do you guys think about the guy? Now, I know we've been linked to him numerous times. I know other people have been linked to him before, but I want to know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Do you want Paulo Torres? I'm looking in the chat. I'm not really seeing people very happy. What did Sanllehi say? You guys are too quick. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Give me a second. Once I get the first one done, then we'll move on to Raul Sanllehi. Please try to stay with me, my guys. Stay with me. What did Raul Skills? You just want to know what he said. People just want to know injury updates. You know what? Shout out to all you guys. Love the support though. Love the comments. Also, if we got 24 people in the chat, if you haven't already hit that like button, hit that like button right now. It's free. Better options out there in my opinion, but Gabriel always good. Yeah, competition is great. Torres is the Spanish international. Yep. And he's good, and he's good. He should generally be good with his feet. If I'm not mistaken, that should be one of his strengths. It will be Torres and Saliba, and we'll be having backups in Gabriel and Ben White. It will be crazy to think that a couple years ago we wouldn't have fathomed to have 4 potential center backs of that quality in the team. Imagine we could potentially have Gabriel, Torres on the left. We could have Ben White and Saliba on the right. That's just amazing squad depth in the sense of having all 4 of them. But I don't know if this deal is going to happen in a January window. It's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be very unlikely. But let's see this is what it said. This is what it says. This is it's saying it's a possibility for this summer. It doesn't say anything about it being a potential January transfer. It just says this is for the summer. So anybody who thinks this is a January transfer, it's not a January transfer. This is a summer transfer. Now, is it time to get into Raul Sanllehi? First of all, let me know right now. Put something in the chat. Let me know. What is your take on Raul Sanllehi? What do you think of this guy? When you see his picture, what comes to mind? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you see his picture? Because for me, first thing that comes to my mind is Pepe 72 million. Or knock, different knock. Those were the words that he was anonymous for, in my opinion. Those were some of the things that he was anonymous for. The knock, the different knock, some of the stuff. There was a lot of different things that he said. But in my opinion, if you ask me, his time at Arsenal was not successful on the pitch. It was not really successful off the pitch either. But he did kind of lay the groundwork for what we have right now, in the sense of Eddie was hired under his reign. Arteta was hired under his reign. Per Mertesacker was hired under his reign. A lot of these guys were hired under his reign. And let me show you guys what he said, because he spilled the tea similar to how some other people spill the tea, where they say some stuff and they after they leave, you expect an interview from that person to be fiery. You expect it to be like something that's going to be like, wow, can't believe it. But you know what? It wasn't like that. He was very respectful. He had a lot of respect for his former employer. And a lot of the stuff that he said was complimentary. Yeah. So he sat down in this interview. This interview was with The Athletic. The headline here is stating, I had to lay off 55 people without knowing. He ended up being the 56th. But yeah, here we go. So we'll just go through some of the headlines that we have here on Arsenal stuff, AFC stuff. Shout out to AFC stuff. Former Arsenal head of football, Raul, is interview with the Athletic. This interview covered his departure. It covered how he remodeled the structure, the place, and uh, Unai Emery's time at Arsenal. So let's just go through to the first tweet. The first tweet spoke about how he got sacked. How he got sacked. He basically said he loved his time at Arsenal. He couldn't imagine the people in the club, the history of the club. He felt like it was the top of the world there. But in 10 months, there there were horrible 10 months. The last 10 months there were horrible. He had to lay off 55 people, and not even knowing he was the 56th person who had to be laid off, right? Now, here's what he had to say about this. He didn't feel like it was a betrayal. He didn't feel like it was a betrayal to the Cronkies. He understood they had other businesses like the Rams, the Nuggets, the Rapids, and all of a sudden they lost all their revenue in a lockdown season. And unlike football, where you had paid salaries, they did not have guaranteed TV broadcasts to cover the costs. So Sanllehi, on being part of Arsenal's redundancies, they entered into panic, but it was a logical panic, and the world entered into a panic with COVID. And I'm sure there was, as my relationship with the Cronkies was great. So he's saying his relationship with the Cronkies was great, and he basically is implying that he was sacked, but he was let go due to COVID reasons and nothing external. Now, do you guys believe him? Do you believe that he was sacked because of COVID, or do you think that he was sacked because of something else? Because if I'm not mistaken, there was the Pepe situation. Yeah, do you guys remember that Pepe situation? Yeah, where they did the investigation. I really did not think this guy would have gone that whole interview and just would have said anything to incriminate the club, of course. But I would have wanted some closure. But this kind of just leaves it open. It is what it is. You're never gonna get full transparency. That's just not how it is. But don't forget, there were some fiery moments. I'm gonna get to those in a second. But don't forget this. Don't forget this. This is an important part. Right? Arsenal held an internal investigation led by Edu in 2020 and into the 72 million pound signing of Nicolas Pepe. And of course, there were some findings that were taken back by the amount Arsenal were eventually paid. So you guys can call him Don Raul, you can call him Scam Raul, but a lot of people have pointed at this for the reason of his sacking. Could it just be that it was due to COVID, or could it have been that he was actually sacked because of the whole Pepe thing? I think he was probably sacked because of the whole Pepe thing, in my opinion. Right? But yeah, before we get into Arteta, he spoke about Unai Emery, season from hell. Who? Where's that? He said, "Where's the Unai Emery season from hell thing?" Nah, that was done. Yeah, the Unai Emery season was terrible. He also mentioned, so he mentioned Unai Emery quickly. He mentioned Arsene Wenger quickly. Let me just show you what he mentioned. In the bottom tweet, he's just speaking about how crucial it was for us to get to Champions League football by winning the Europa League. We didn't get it. Also, he spoke about how Arsene Wenger said he wanted to leave. Right. Then you had what do you call it? These tweets here. He's saying Arsenal had distance to move from Arsene Wenger as a boss because he was the club's first team coach, the manager, first team coach. Nowhere, No. Oh, okay, yeah. So he was just speaking about the fact that first team coach is a little bit outdated, and you need to get away from that, right? And you need to distance yourself and from your responsibilities, and just have people who manage everything else, and you just focus on the first team, right? So here's where he feels betrayed. This is where he felt betrayed, right? He felt betrayed because he felt like Arsenal changed our ways. We changed the model while he was there, so we had people running things from each level. When he left, they then made Arteta a manager. They promoted Arteta, but he felt like that was the wrong decision. He felt like you didn't necessarily need to do that, but he's not here to make those calls, right? They have betrayed the model a little bit now. I'm going to go back to the and going back to a manager at the top. That is a mistake, but there is a mistake I would have not allowed to happen, but that's fine. It's working so far for them. So he's speaking about how it's working so far for them, even though he would have never allowed that to happen. Uh, and there was one more thing that he said that was quite interesting. If you guys want to see, he actually takes credit for Mykhaylo, Edu, and all of them being there, and he kind of feels like it's him who did this. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. It's funny now, but I remember in December of 2019, I had dinner with 4 guys: Mykhaylo, Edu, Husfami, and Per Mertesacker on and a toast, and I said, now it's on us. It's exactly the model I asked for when in March. Everything falls then in March, everything falls apart, and I was sad. So that's funny. So he had a toast with them, and then everything fell apart in March, but now they're running the club. And I kind of look at this as this last little bit. I kind of look at that last little bit as him saying, I built this. I brought these guys together. And then I'm the one that's like, it hasn't fallen apart. He left. He got sacked. Or he got sacked. This whole thing about mutual agreement, we always knew it wasn't no mutual agreement. They just always say that. But he was sacked. But yeah, let's see what some of you guys in the comment section have to say. We haven't gone to some of your comments in a minute. What are the comments saying right now? Let's see what some of the comments are saying. Mustafa's in the house. Yeah, what did Sanllehi say? So yeah, that was pretty much all the excerpts from the article. I don't think there's anything that I missed. Everything I said, everything there was said. People are calling him a fraud, a thief, a coward. Wow, that's a lot, bro. That's a lot. Big up my guy. Big up my guy. You already know what it is, man. You already know what it is, man. Shout out to you, my guy. He brought some good players, though. Yeah, he definitely did. He brought in who? Pepe? Who? Torreira? Guendouzi? Leno? Are they still here? No. You want to talk about Partey? Did he bring in Partey? Or was that Edu? Let me know. How much credit do you guys give to Edu for Martinelli, and how much do you give to Raul? How many? How much? Then you have people saying good riddance. Yeah, wait, Paulo Torres thing is real? How crazy would that be? Having 2 to 3 quality signings in January window. No, we're not signing him in January. This is for the Paulo Torres thing is strictly for next summer. This is a summer signing. Yeah, it's a summer signing. Yeah. That makes more sense. Definitely. You see? Makes more sense. Yeah. People, it's not going to be a long video. But we got a lot more topics to get through, so we're just gonna fire through some more of these topics. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that little edu. That was the Raul Sanllehi interview, just to run through it. So once again, he felt betrayed. Just to give you a quick little synopsis, he thought Emery's second season was an absolute mess. Arteta came in, and you've seen that, and he also spoke about his exit. Right now, let's talk about Thomas Partey. Just to let you guys know, update on Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey is scheduled to return. This is great news. This is great news. Thomas Partey is scheduled to return. He should be fit and available for the North London Derby. And guys, if he is available for that North London Derby, you can count that as good as a win at this point, because you guys know how crucial he is to how we play. You know how crucial he is to our build-up. You know how crucial he is to everything that we do. And the reports are currently saying that Kieran, Tierney, Tomiyasu are expected to join up with Thomas Partey at London Coney Training Ground later today. The three defenders will be evaluated going into Saturday's North London Derby match. Kieran Tierney withdrew from Scotland. Tomiyasu withdrew from Japan, and Partey withdrew from Ghana. They all will be ready to. They all will be fit. It says, yeah, they all should be fit and available. So that is a triple boost going into this thing. That is great news. That is great news. That is great news, people. How great is that? How great is that? So all three, Thomas Partey, Tomiyasu, and Kieran Tierney are most likely going to be available, fit and available for the next game at North London Derby at home versus Tottenham. I personally think that is worth celebrating. Because how often do we get these players that are getting injured constantly getting injured, and we have a situation here where we could have all of them available. Now, if you guys want to see it in writing, I'm going to show it to you quickly right here. 1 second. Let me show you what it says. Here we go. Now, let me just show it to you quickly. There we go. Here we go. I'm going to show it to you. Boom. There we go. So yeah, Kieran Tierney and Tomiyasu are expected to join up with Thomas Partey at London Coney Training Ground later today. The defensive duo return from their time with their international squads in training on Saturday ahead of Saturday's North London Derby with Tottenham. So that is just to go and show you guys that we are in a much better situation injury-wise. We've weathered the storm. A lot of players were injured, but now we are in a much better situation personally. We're looking at these situations and we're saying to ourselves, you know what, we're in a better situation. Less injuries, less issues, less problems. And it's just better for us in the long run. We don't have to worry about we don't have to be stressed. No more stress, people. No more stress. We can go through this day and know that, you know what, hopefully we might have a near to perfectly fit squad, knock on wood, going into that North London Derby. And it's going to be important going into that big month of October where we have all those crazy games, right? Now, what is the next topic that I'm going to have to discuss with you guys? Let me just show you guys what the next topic is, because I need to go back to my list. The next thing is Ramsdale will be starting for England today. I honestly, I just hope he doesn't get injured. I just hope he doesn't get injured. We know how important some of our players are, but Ramsdale is one of the most important players for Arsenal Football Club. So let's just hope he does not get injured. Let's just hope he doesn't get thing. I hate that fraud. Wow, bro, Black Jacket, you really don't like Raul Sanllehi, man. Wow. Make sure you guys get some. This thing is about to change, bro. What are you talking about? What the hell happened here? Okay. Okay. Anyways, moving on quickly. It doesn't even put it out there about Ramsdale. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for even saying that. But yeah, hopefully Ramsdale does well. And you know what? Ramsdale's gonna get the start for England today. I personally think Ramsdale is probably the best England goalkeeper. I think he is better than all of them with distribution at the back. But reportedly, some people think that Pickford is better. Um, and then you also got people saying Nick Pope is a better shot stopper. You know what? I'll hear that, but at the same time, Nick Pope can't do nothing with his feet. We just witnessed it versus Italy. So Ramsdale, give him the keys. Let's see what he can do. Because if Pickford gets injured going into the World Cup, you kind of want somebody who can do what they got to do. Now, moving on to Saliba, guys. Saliba had a stinker yesterday. Saliba had a stinker yesterday. I'm not gonna lie to you. Saliba had a stinker yesterday. It was not one of the best games for Saliba. He had a poor game. The guy was all over the place at times. And you can blame other defenders, you can blame other people, but Didier Deschamps even hinted at it. Players were just losing the ball, playing it out the back poorly, very ineffective at times. And that French team in general just looks poor. Personally, I think you need to get rid of the manager. Uh, it's not a personnel issue. You got enough personnel in there to compete with the best of the best in the world. That team is outstanding. You could continuously beat anybody in that with that team. But I get it. I get it that Fofana had and these guys are not in there. But you know what? Saliba had a bad game yesterday. He had a bad game, but what he does for France is really none of our business unless you support France, which I somewhat do. So I really cared what he does for France and Arsenal. You guys only really care what he does for Arsenal. So do you really care what he does for France? But of course, you want to see your players perform well during the international break. But do you really care? That is a question. Do you really care? That is a question. But yeah, let's quickly shift on over to some of your comments, and then yeah, let's just see what you guys got to say in the comment section before we move on, because I don't think there's anything else really to talk about. Um, Ben White, yeah, Ben White should be in the England team. There's Mykhaylo. I haven't seen any stuff on him. Ben White. Uh, I haven't seen much on Ben White getting in the England team. Yeah, do you guys care if Ben White doesn't get in the England team to go to Qatar? Because I would be quite upset for him, because he probably would definitely want to get in there. But if he doesn't get in there, just benefit for us, really. Do you guys still want Douglas Luiz? There's just so many little things that we should talk about. Is the only winger that anybody wants now that Ukrainian bro? Because he looks like he's stealing everyone's hearts. Like, what do you guys want to talk about right now? Because we got another 20 minutes before I gotta wrap up. Unless you guys want to just wrap it up early. Love him. Unless he's injured, give him a chance. Yeah, yeah, you guys don't really care about internationals, I guess. But yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna wrap it up here, guys. You guys have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Hopefully, you enjoyed this little stream, and I'll catch you guys on the football terrace at. I'm gonna be going at 5. So yeah, I'll catch you guys there. Peace. Where's this thing? Yo, where's the outro?